So if a wholesale supplier sends you a list of products with an Amazon link already, that's not a green flag. That is the oldest trick in the book that you should avoid, because a lot of these aren't real suppliers at all. They're basically middlemen or liquidators, or even worse, it could be stolen product. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact 4 checklists I use to verify before I send any supplier a single dollar, and this is going to help you avoid losing thousands of dollars. So do not make this mistake. As a background, if you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. My name is Lester, and I've been selling on Amazon FBA since 2021, where I started as a side hustle, and fast forward now, my business has done over $5 million in total sales, and I was able to grow the team. And a big portion of this has been through wholesale relationships that I built with legitimate suppliers. So knock on wood, I've never been burned by a sketchy supplier. Not that just because I'm lucky, because as Charlie Munger famously said, it's good to learn from your mistakes, but it's even better to learn from other people's mistakes. So I memorized early on what were the red flags and basically what to avoid. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it. So you ever had that gut feeling where you are in a situation, for example, and it's just too good to be true, right? But your instincts is telling you in the inside, it's like, what exactly is the catch? Because there's something going on. It's too good to be true. Let me show you an example so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me find a product here. Let's use my Hoka running shoes, for example. If you didn't know, I used to run a lot. I still do, but not as much because I play tennis. But anyways, enough of that. Let's, for example, find a wholesale supplier for like Hoka shoes, since they're popular. They're good running shoes, right? So we're going to go into Google here and type in Hoka shoes wholesale. Okay. All right. So this is basically going to be the standard results you got. Then, of course, let's go ahead and open up the top answer here, which is this 888lots.com. I don't know about you, but for me, it already sounds kind of sketchy. Same here, maybe Supply Leader. Then of course you got your Hoka.com, outlets discounts. We can open that up too. Let's just see. So let's start here with Hoka.com. All right. My God, so many pop-ups. All right. So here we are at Hoka.com. This is their discount sale. So here's my shoe. I'm not a woman, but I guess this is just the same model, for instance. So you can see it was originally priced $190. Now it's $132. I don't know why it's in euros. I'm here in Florida, right? So pretty reasonable discount, 30%. So let's go to the first one. It's called 88 Lots. All right. So now their discounts are a lot, much more, right? I mean, from 112, it's like 50% or even more. Like, for example, like this one here. Like, how is that possible? I don't know. It could be legitimate, right? We're just browsing through. I'm just showing you guys an example. This the other website here, supplyleader.com/Hoka. I mean, dude, $16.74, $17.50 for Hoka shoes. It is wholesale here. Again, crazy prices. Is it too good to be true? That is the question, right? So the first thing I do in order to do this is actually check. A lot of beginners overlook this, but it's very simple once you pick it up, is look up their website and their address, right? Specifically their address, because if you go down to any website, so you guys can see right here, contact, I could do a simple Google search, maybe add 5 seconds to your due diligence. Look at this. This is the address, 5830, which we just copied down here. I did a Google search, 5830 Wyoming. I mean, does this look like a warehouse to you? I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere already, Wyoming, but then it comes out to Executive Suites of Casper. That's what it is. It looks like there's different type of virtual office. It's not even a warehouse and stuff, and they're selling you wholesale products. That should be like alert already, your spidey sense. Because some of the questions you should be doing if you're looking at wholesale, for example, is like, one of the first things you think of a wholesale player, they need to have a warehouse, right? Like a big warehouse. You're buying wholesale, they're carrying wholesale products. You simply need the space to carry all these products. That should be number one. And one thing to avoid as well is this, for example, we do a Google search. It's a virtual office. It could be someone's house. That happened to me. It was like a random house in upstate New York. Another one could be like a UPS address, right? The same thing as a virtual things. So these are just like little things that can avoid catastrophe before you buy even anything. But you'd be surprised so many people don't even do this simple check, which takes, again, like 5 seconds. So now let's look at the other website, 88 Lot. Again, what you should be looking for is commercial, legitimate business buildings. Okay, so let's go here. Here we go. Let's try this one here. They have like 3 different addresses, but let's go ahead and just Google this one. Okay. Okay, so this one, I mean, palacigroup.com. It's a consultant. It kind of looks like a warehouse, but not what I'm expecting. It still kind of looks sketchy-ish. Let's try this address here, the second one. It looks like they're all in Jersey. Let's go ahead and look. Here's the other one. I mean, what? I don't know. If you go into Street View here, your neighborhood normal thing, and is this like a warehouse? Atlantic Printing. All right. I mean, guys, you can find tons of info by just doing a simple search. Let's try the third one here. Okay, there's no Street View. Let's try to zoom in. Okay, this looks like instruments or something. I mean, it could be a warehouse, I guess. Let's go ahead and actually do the Street View. Okay, it possibly could be. I don't know what it's saying there. University van lines. That's what it's saying there. Moving and storage service. I mean, guys, it tells you the answer right there. Just coupling. You would think like having 3 address could be like multiple different legitimate warehouses, right? But gives you the answer right there. And so then my natural next step with this, let's say the warehouse checks out, I would then give them a call, right? They have multiple numbers here. It looks like I was gonna say 1-800, but you know, starts with a 844-908. I don't know what those numbers are, but that would be my next step, is call them. Let me see if the other one even has a phone number. This one does not. That's a red flag right there. Like, they should have a phone number for you to reach. But yeah, that would be the next step to see if, you know, it's real business, right? So checklist number 2, I do just to make sure what you're verifying is actually the most powerful out of all of them from the checklist here, is to actually email the brand itself. So from our example of the Hoka shoes, I would email hoka.com and reach out to their support and ask them for their approved suppliers or partners that they work with, right? Because you're just going to trace the supply chain from the brand itself. You know, the less step you have or less middleman you have on the the brand itself, the better you are in terms of like authenticity and pricing, of course. So if a brand like Hoka, for example, is a big brand, they're not just going to go directly to a small Amazon business. They're probably just work with like a Dick's Sporting Good, right? Or Academy Sports, something big. So what they will do is give you approved suppliers or partners that they work with. That's what I would do. You can do it with all the brands that you were interested in. Even though you've done all the checklists of checking the website, emailing, calling them, you still want to verify and just double check everything. So this is actually one of the powerful, you know, things you can do to make sure everything is good, is to email the brand directly, ask for their approved suppliers and distributors, and you should find that, you know, the one you're working with on that list. If not, there goes your answer as well. And guys, you can send a simple email such as, "Hi, I'm a retailer interested in purchasing your products. Can you confirm if X and YZ distributor is approved as one of your, you know, for you to sell, carry your brand," something along that line. But yeah, it could be literally simple as that, and they should get back to you. That one quick email can save you tons of money, like dollars, or most importantly, even your Amazon account. So now you're watching this and thinking, okay, but how do I actually find legitimate wholesale suppliers in the first place, right? Because in this video, we're just vetting them if they're legit or not. So how do you find the actual good ones? So that's actually something I help people with my Amazon strategy sessions. It is free for you to sign up. So if you already have set capital aside and you're serious about starting Amazon FBA business the right way, you can book that 101 strategy session with me. Using the link is down below. It's a 30-minute call and we pretty much unpack everything so that make sure you leave with clarity. We'll go through your situation, map out a clear plan to start finding profitable products, and most importantly, real suppliers. So let's get right back into the video right now. All right, checklist number 3 is they ask for your EIN. This is a really good sign if they do, because as a wholesale supplier, distributor, it's a B2B business, right? It's not a business to consumer, B2C. So if you're going to do B2B, you're not collecting any sales tax, so you do have to report that. That's why it's important to have the EIN, that they're asking it for you, because they're vetting you if you are legit as well, which you should. And this is one of the first things that you should have, your LLC and EIN, before you even start reaching out to different suppliers out there. And just to let you know, 100% all legit suppliers and distributors will ask this. Again, EIN and your resale tax certificate. So when you're reaching out to them, I've actually made a separate video about this in detail if you want to watch that after, is to attach your resale certificate immediately on your first email, just to show you're professional and proactive from the beginning. And yeah, at the end of the day, they just want to make sure they're working with a real business, not just anyone that can pay with a credit card, right? And in speaking in terms of payments, a real supplier or distributor should only ask in simple form of payments. One of them is a credit card. Second one is going to be like net terms. If you sign up with them, if they give you like a net 30, 60, or 90, that's directly through with the wholesale supplier. Or the third one is going to be a wire transfer, but most of them actually just, do with a credit card, right? Now, if you're working with someone, they're asking for your PayPal or your Zelle or, other some sort of like third party payments, so that way you don't have to pay fees. I mean, does a real business do that? Does Walmart ask you for your Zelle? You can Zelle them because you don't want to pay for credit card fees or, PayPal and stuff like that. I mean, you should not be paying any of these with your products, right? I don't know. It seems like common sense, but you'd be surprised how many people fall for this. It's just like these Amazon groups on WhatsApp or Telegram. You can only pay through all this because maybe you can't contact your credit card supplier if they never send you your product, or dispute it if it's not what they had described. That's why they wanted you to pay on these like Zelle, PayPal, that sort of payments instead of like a legitimate credit card supplier. The last checklist here is they send you actual Amazon listing with the actual ASIN itself. This should be, again, another spidey sense tingle. Kind of like the main point of this is like, when I was starting out, right, like we want things to come easy, I guess, or just want to see some sort of progress or something like that. But what you need to understand when in terms of Amazon, the easier it is, that should be like, all right, let me slow down. Because think about it, if someone already sending you an Amazon link with the actual product of like the price and stuff, you should be asking like, why aren't they selling this themselves if they could be making that money? Why are they selling it to me? That should be the question to ask. Is like, they already have the link, they already know where to buy it, or they already have the product with this buy cost, just go sell it. That should be the ding, ding, ding. And just being in the Amazon space since 2021, I mean, I've heard so many horror stories where people just, it's hard to resist. I get it. They just want to go for the profit and stuff like that. Then, they send their stuff to Amazon. They found out it's counterfeit, it's stolen, and it just bites them on the rear per se. And yeah, if you're looking for that chasing that quick profit, I mean, you're not going to last in this business. The idea of running a whole Amazon business is you can do it for a year. Like, I'm doing this for almost half a decade now, which is crazy. And most businesses don't even survive that long. So yeah, I want to be able to do this for a long time, right? And so as you, if you're trying to do this, not just for a quick buck, but doing it for the long time, because that's where you can see actual gains. Yeah, in the beginning, it's a bit difficult. You're learning a lot, but like the more you do it, right, it's the cliche saying like right now, I have a lot of things pretty semi-automated. I got my virtual assistants, I got my prep centers, things in place, systems, but it wasn't like this in day one. So your business should get easier and get quote unquote boring, consistent, the longer you do it. But it's only going to come in there if you think long term, not just a quick buck. And if you're watching this to make a quick buck, this is not for you. And here's the rule that saved me from making bad wholesale purchases overall. So if you want to keep note of this one. So legitimate suppliers will have this. Again, they're going to have application when you process, when you first start. business verification, EIN, resale certificate, and all that stuff. And most importantly, like the correct type of payment that they are, requiring from you. You know what I mean? They're vetting you just as much you are vetting them. So if you're serious about building an Amazon FBA business and you already have capital ready to get invested, again, I offer a free strategy session for you to take advantage of where I help you build a roadmap and help you scale your Amazon FBA business. So this is perfect for someone that maybe have a 9-to-5 job, whether they aspire to want to quit their job or just an additional source of income, which we all want. This could be a benefit for you. So yeah, go ahead and book this session. The link is in the description below, and we'll see if it makes sense for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.